Welcome back to Nightline. We've got a wonderful program here tonight. We've got wonderful guests in the house. Ila Knight and her precious husband, Mel, is here tonight. And I want to just refer back to the scriptures because I've already told you just this week, I just had this in my spirit, how you are just such an awesome woman of God. You reflect on that scripture that Wade read earlier out of Psalms, and it's in 31:10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband does safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. Listen, you are a woman of excellence, and Wade's going to come around, and we have something very special for you from me and Wade. We love you and appreciate you and Mel, but we just want you to know there have been several times that I've did programs with women of excellence.
I'm telling you, y'all.
But this week the Lord just kept dealing with me that I was to do this for you because you are such a precious saint of God. Thank you, Wade, for
That's
presenting
beautiful.
them.
Thank you.
Here, Mel, give her a tissue and I'll get mine.
You know, if anybody could say anything about me when I'm gone, I hope they'll say that I love the Lord.
Man.
That's all I
know
want,
that about
is
you.
that I love the Lord and that they know where I am. What rejoicing that's going to be when we get up yonder.
I know it. I know it.
Well, I've just
And
ruined my
Mel,
face.
she talks of you all the time. This woman loves you. I know it. You think she's pretty special too, don't you?
That's right.
Tell her tonight how special.
Oh, yeah. She's special.
She is special.
I couldn't make it without him, you know.
Does he spoil you, Ila?
Well, he does, because I've gotten to a place where I can't do quite as much as I used to with all of the things I've been through, and sometimes I have a real hard time walking, and he waits on me. If we go sing, he drives me wherever, no matter how far, and he sets up my CDs and whatnot, and just really, he runs. If I need water, he'll go get it. Just things like that. And this morning he said, you know, what do you need? I said, honey, I'll have to get what I need. I can't tell you where to go. And because, you know, I'm still trying to get over this of where I think I have to do everything because that's the way I've always been. And like I said, I've got to a place where I can't do it all. But I know I'm going to a place where all these aches and pains will be gone.
But you know what? We're both so blessed because Wade Hall is that same way. If I could tell you, he spoils me, he does. And I think you do her too. And isn't it good to have men that just, you just know they love you and they spoil you and they want to do for you. It's not like they have to do. They want to do.
It's after 59 years almost.
Amen. Let's give them a hand. 59 years. Amen.
Close
Amen.
to it. He turned 80 in January.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
80.
And
You don't look it, and you still work.
Yeah.
Am I right?
12-hour days.
Yeah.
Wow, 12-hour days?
Yeah.
Every day, Monday
Yeah,
through
I
Friday?
just worked, I
He
worked
works 5 days a week.
5 days in a
Wow,
row.
that's enough.
You know. And I just worked off yesterday,
Oh, my.
and so I'll be off 5 days now.
Oh, you'll
And
be
that's
off 5
great.
days. Oh, well,
And
that's
then
good.
when I go back, I'll work 5.
Oh, well, you're just blessed. Both of you all
yeah,
are so
it's a
blessed.
it's a blessing.
And Wade and I, I know I want you to just step in here too. We're so honored to have you tonight
Oh, thank you.
as our guest.
It's just an honor to be here.
Yeah.
You know, I think often, Gwen, that my mother and daddy didn't live to see it, because after I quit my last job and I said I'm going into gospel music full time, then I had no engagements. I didn't have anything. I had to go in debt and buy my piano and my computer and all of this stuff at lots of money, and the program to print the music and whatnot, and I had to go to school to learn how to type, and that's been 20-some years ago, and I think my mother has been gone now 17 years, and Daddy's been gone 14 years, I think, and I wish they had lived to see what the Lord has done, because they worried so.
How many songs has the Lord given you?
Well, I have 60 in the books that have all been recorded here and yonder and about. Several hit songs that were big chart songs, and I'm still, listen, I'm still in awe when I hear one on the radio. I just sit and I say, how did I do that? I didn't.
It's Him.
It was the Lord.
It was the Lord.
Because I can't. If I could do it, I'd do it every day. But I can't. And I'm unworthy of what the Lord has
Well, we
done
all
for me.
are.
I'm unworthy of the blessings He's given us, and our children who love the Lord. Our son's a Baptist preacher. Anita is one of the greatest singers you've ever met. And our grandchildren, all of them. We have one grandchild that's a lovely school teacher. Her husband is a minister. They just took a church in Virginia. And then our Anita's oldest one is in pre-med with a 4.0 average. She's been,
Wow, that is awesome.
it's
Favor.
just the Lord has blessed us.
Yes.
Take
And
that to the mountain.
us who came from nothing, just country people
That's kind
that
of
love
like.
the Lord.
I like people that are genuine, We've got so much to talk about in this last 30 minutes, and then she's going to close out with a song, but we got a lot to talk about. I've been watching you on Facebook as you go into churches, and you've ministered, and I see you just walking back and forth and singing, and people being so blessed. I've been keeping up with those services. And then your cookbook, I follow that on. I know in a couple of weeks you're and Wade are going to go to the kitchen and do something special in there, and I can't wait for that. But tell us about what is your favorite, and I know we've got a copy of this cookbook, but what is your most wanted recipe?
The biscuits.
The biscuits.
The biscuits. Everybody wants the dumplings. They want to know how, and that's kind of a hard thing to tell somebody how to do because you got to get the feel of it. But the biscuits, and this morning I sure made a mess because my power had been off all night, and I was trying to hurry to make biscuits, and I rolled them out too thin, and I didn't know you were going to serve them.
We got your biscuits, and you can get a shot of them, and we all going to have some after a while of these biscuits. If you can get a shot of them, and you brought down some preserves too.
I brought strawberry jam,
Ooh,
and
we all
it
going to
is
have
delicious.
a little bit of that, and that is the most asked recipe in your book.
It is, and I think that lots of people want to know about the fruitcake, how to make it, but I think the biscuits are the main thing.
You know what? Wade Hall can make biscuits, but when I make a biscuit, it bounces on the floor. It's so
Well,
hard.
some of these might bounce.
So did you?
I love the thin ones. I like.
I
thin
know
ones.
that's what you
love
said.
I got them too thin.
No, well, listen. Tonight, just because you're watching, you're going to be so blessed because I asked her, I said, I need to learn how to make a biscuit, and that's the most asked thing about in your cookbook. So can we go to that video?
Yes. Yes.
I don't know if they have it ready or not, but I tell you what's the truth. This video will show you exactly. I may have to get a copy of the tape and turn it down while we're making the biscuit. We're going to go, and she's going to actually show you tonight how to make these biscuits. How about that? So
Anita and Luis made this video.
Anita and Luis made this video, so we're going to go to them and watch Miss Ila make biscuits.
Hi, I'm Anita, and this is Far Above Rubies. You are going to be so glad you came by today because my mom is here in the kitchen, and she's going to show us how to make her homemade Southern biscuits. So, come on in. I'm really excited to have my mom here in the kitchen with me, Ila Knight. She's very famous for her Southern gospel songs, but she is equally famous for her incredible biscuits. They are mouth-watering, and she's about to show us how to make them. So, Mother, what is the very first thing that we do?
Okay, so great way to start your day with homemade biscuits. And the recipe that's on the white lily flour is pretty close to what I'm using, except I'm making a double batch, I guess you would say. And I always use white lily flour because it's lighter and it makes a much lighter, more wonderful biscuit than what you're going to get with the other flours. First thing you need to do is remove all of your lovely rings because you don't want biscuit dough in your diamonds. I have in this bowl 4 cups of self-rising white lily flour, and I have 1/2 cup of Crisco shortening. Now I'm going to mix this up very well. And once I get it all mixed up, it has to be done good, just so. I want to get this mixed up very evenly. I think there's a lot more to making biscuits than just using a recipe. It's how you handle the dough. In this cup, I have 3/4 of a cup of sweet milk, 2% sweet milk, and I also have 3/4 of a cup of whole milk buttermilk. There is a difference in whole milk buttermilk and in the fat-free buttermilk, and this will make you a taller, it makes it seems to make it rise better. I'm going to pour most of this in and hope I got it right. And I didn't pour all of it because I want to be sure. Sometimes it may take a little more or less. I want to mix it up gently. And I'm going to have to use all of this, I can see right now. And maybe some more. Now this is about right. You see how it's coming along here? We want it wet enough. People tend to make it too dry. I have some extra flour, aside from the 4 cups. I want to have plenty on my board so that when I pour this out, I'll have plenty to work with. I'm going to spread it out. Don't want to get too much at one time. Just, it's there if you need it. I'm going to dump this out and hope it doesn't stick. Just like this. I'm scraping this off to the side. Don't be afraid of the mess. It's not going to hurt a thing. It will come right up. That's how you do it. You don't want to work your dough too much because that makes it makes your biscuits tough. Okay, I want to be sure that I don't have anything sticky here. And we tend to be sticking a little bit today. I'm going to do this and hope we've got it right. I'm going to roll my rolling pin in a little bit of the flour. Never press hard on your dough. Lightly, beginning in the middle. Kind of roll it on all sides. If you press down on it, you're going to have a big dip in the middle. We want to roll it out maybe about a 1/2 inch because I don't like really thick biscuits. That seems to be about right. We're going to cut it. My mother always had perfectly round biscuits. I tend to miss it every now and then, just like I did there, and get a little hunk cut out. And my mother was an awesome cook and biscuit maker. And when I was at home, we made them on in a wood cook stove. We've already preheated our oven, by the way, to about 460. I like it between 450 and 475, at least on my oven. And it takes about 10 minutes. This is an old pan that I'm using. All right, let's put those in. I'll let you put them in, Anita. We put it on the top rack, at least that's how it works best in my oven at home. And you'll have to figure out for yourself how your oven does, your heat, so forth and so on. And you need to remember that when you re-roll them, which is what I'm doing here, just put just a little bit. You got to be real careful. They're not going to be as tender and nice as your first biscuits were, but we don't want to waste it. And they'll be awful good in some good old-timey sawmill gravy. All right, let's take them out and see what we've got. We have a dozen lovely homemade biscuits. I think in this particular oven, you would have to have it on about 500 to get them right. It depends on your oven at home. The longer you have to leave them in, the harder they're going to get.
These are absolutely delicious. They're light and fluffy, and they're even better with her homemade strawberry jam, so you will definitely want to try them. Thank you so much, Mom.
Oh, let's give a hand for Miss Ila's biscuits. It made my mouth water. Did it make yours water?
Absolutely, I'll tell you. That with the strawberry jam, just watching it, my sugar level went up.
I make a low sugar. strawberry jams.
That is awesome.
And it's delicious.
Well,
Everybody wants my jams.
But you know, there's something about biscuits that anchors every meal.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it does. And Mel, you are so trim to have
Oh, yeah.
biscuits and gravy and eggs and bacon and all the good stuff every morning.
Yeah.
You must be very active
That's
during
what a
the.
lot of people ask me. How I do it.
12-hour days.
I'm telling you, I know by her cooking,
Yeah.
she keeps you pretty.
Because, when I wake up in the morning, I can smell biscuits cooking. 5 o'clock in the morning.
That makes you
smell,
want-
smell biscuits and stuff cooking and
That makes you
fried
wanna get
apples
up,
and all
right?
that.
He can ride a bicycle to the top of the mountain and never break a sweat. He can.
Really?
Yeah.
He
Well,
certainly can.
and that's after
Yeah.
all those biscuits
Yeah,
and
my
gravy.
son, he got, we used to ride the bike, the mountain bikes,
Yeah.
down at Solly Recreation Area. And
So you can go on Ila's. Well, you've seen Anita's blog there. You can go there
That's
and
right.
go to
You
Ila
can just
Knight.
go on YouTube
Yeah.
Right.
and find Ila Knight and the homemade
recipe's
biscuits.
there.
It'll come up.
So, don't think because you've watched it tonight, oh, I need it. Just go to her. Just go to her name.
Go
Push
to
that little
YouTube.
button, and
Yeah.
there she'll be in the kitchen on YouTube making them
that's
biscuits.
right. Yeah.
What's another thing in your cookbook that you
Well,
really like?
everybody always wants to know about the soup. They love to know how to make the pickles. A lot of people want to can the pickles that are in there
Right.
because I can all of my sweet pickles that I use in my potato salad, chicken salad, egg salad. We don't like the bought pickles in it after we got used to
Yeah, putting up
the
your own.
homemade. And I also make a zucchini pickle that tastes just like the other, and you can put it right in the salads too.
Yeah.
And it's delicious. That and so many
Homemade
things.
bread? You
Homemade bread.
brought the
I
homemade
make most
bread,
all
get a
of
shot of it?
our bread now. And sometimes it doesn't turn out quite right. It depends on the flour you use.
Yeah.
Now, do you ever have to make alterations in your recipes?
Yes.
Because you may not have something? Or...
Well, you may not have something, and again, I'm a dump cook, and old-timey cooks could make a meal out of nothing. You don't have to have the ingredients. You just make them up as you go, or change them around.
Well, I would ask you that because I remember one time biscuits was the hardest thing I ever had to make. And one day I was at a school where I was doing a presentation early, and I mentioned to a cafeteria lady, I can't make biscuits. She said, be here at 6 o'clock the next morning. And I went in, and sure enough, from then on, she helped me make biscuits. But one day I remember I didn't have enough milk.
Uh-huh.
And I was looking around trying to figure out what I was going to do, and I didn't want to water it down with water, and all. I got to look around. I found some ranch dressing,
Really?
and I added that in,
Really?
Yes.
I never thought of that.
and it worked.
Carnation will make gravy and a
carnation, yeah.
bunch of things, when you run out.
Yes.
But I learned something really not all that long ago. I hate to buy half a gallon of milk because it costs as much as a gallon. So I buy the gallon, and I take my half-gallon jar and pour it almost full, put it in the freezer, and it's just as good as the day I put it in when I take it out.
What about that?
That way it doesn't sit in the refrigerator and ruin.
That is a great idea. That's a great idea. I want to go back to you ministering. I know you and Mel go together, but you are ministering quite a bit now.
Well, I have been more than I
Yes.
am right now. We've got a wonderful church, Grandview Baptist Church up on Allens Creek, and we absolutely adore Barry Willett and Salisa. I'm telling you, they're
They'll have
just
to come with
awesome.
you sometime.
Oh, yeah,
I'd
definitely.
love for them to come.
We'd love to
I
have
think
them.
he's shy about being on TV,
Yeah.
maybe. I don't know. But they're awesome, and they built the church up, and honest to goodness, we hate to miss.
Yeah.
Really. And he works every other weekend.
Uh-huh.
So I can only go out of town every other. They won't let me do nothing by myself. I can only go out of town every other weekend. I think I told you what happened to me last year. I can't remember. My son was here from Georgia, and Anita, and all of us, and I had been invited to speak at Western Carolina University.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yes. And, I said, what in the world do they want with me? But it was something about everything Appalachian, and they wanted me to talk about my book and wanted me to sing and tell about my ministry and what I did. So we get down there, and we can't find the building. Now, both my kids went to school there. And but they've removed the name. They've changed the name from the building.
Oh.
So we're looking, and we drive and drive and drive, and we see all of these students with these backpacks and all this stuff. And honest to goodness, you ask them how to get there, they don't know how they got there. That's the truth. So we keep going. We're going down the hill, and David says, "Dad, if you'll let me out right here," he said, "by the time you go around that traffic circle, maybe I can find out something in this building." Mm-hmm. So we go, and we make the traffic circle quicker than we thought. So on the way back up, I jerked the window down because I see this handsome man walking in. I said, he looks like he might know something. I jerked the window down and I said, "Sir," I said, "can you tell me where the Mountain Heritage Building is?" And he turned around and he says, "Well, Mom, it's me, David." So they don't turn me loose much. Honest to goodness.
That is funny.
Oh, it was funny.
But what an honor. You got to share.
I did get to share,
That's great.
and it was a place that I wouldn't ordinarily be. There were people there who would never hear the gospel, I'm sure, but they heard it because I sang my songs, and I sang about the blood, and there were 2 students there. Really, you can't tell by looking at people if they know the Lord or not sometimes. These boys, young men, were the nicest people. They helped us pack up, they helped carry out, and they were praising the Lord, because I got a standing O there several times.
Wow.
And they were praising the Lord, and it just really meant something to me. It really touched my heart to be in a place like this, because
What opportunity.
you know,
Yeah.
You know, that was a great
and there were a lot of
opportunity.
people who see me on this show.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
definitely.
Yes,
wonderful.
ma'am. Everywhere I
makes me
go, I'll
feel
be in
good.
Asheville, somewhere at Sam's, and people come up, "Ooh, I just love to watch you on Down Home Gospel."
Can we
or
tell
on-"
you you're one of our favorite guests? I'm
Thank
just
you.
being honest. I love it. I love it when Ila comes, Anita comes in a couple of weeks. Where the week of the 4th of July, we're doing. Her and Wade's going to be in the kitchen doing recipe, and Anita's going to be doing some songs, patriotic songs. You don't want to miss that. I think it's the 5th.
We'll
I
be
believe it's
doing
July.
that potato salad that's in here that's
Oh,
made out
yeah.
of mashed potatoes, and it is the best.
It is good.
I can make. Mother made it out of cubed potatoes, and it was wonderful. But I make it out of, because that's what my mother-in-law made it out of, and I just like it the best.
And I think Wade's going to do salmon patties, and he's just really good at doing that.
Oh, I know they're delicious.
If you would love for Ila to come to your church and minister and sing, I want to tell you, she would love to come. And I'm going
Yes.
to tell you something. She will bless your congregation. I've watched her lately on YouTube. I might not can get to the services, but I've watched, and she is such a blessing.
thank you,
you.
Gwen.
We just
Thank you.
recognize you
Anywhere.
as a woman of excellence
Thank you
this
so
time.
much.
It's been such an honor for you to come, you and Mel to come. I can't hardly talk about it because I get so full about it. But she has she's a CD, and she's a songwriter, and there's so much about her. You just have to go to her website there, Anita's blog, and just read all about her life. And I did not know y'all been married 59 years.
It'll be 59 years, our next one, and we
That's
went
awesome.
together 2 or 3 years
That's
before
great.
that.
You'll come back soon.
I'd love to.
I don't know what she's
I would
going to
love
close
to.
this out tonight. I'm not about to miss her song. So we're going to go. Wade's going to do a phone report, and then we're going to close out. And from our Nightland family to you, we love you so much and appreciate you. Wade?
I'll tell you what, I believe these churches may ask you to bring biscuits after what I saw tonight, Ila. I'll tell you, the phones have been busy too. If you've got a need, give us a call. We want to share some of the requests now that have come in. Here's someone, please pray for me. They're getting ready to have heart surgery. We just lift you up in Jesus' name. Someone else here going through diabetic conditions and all needing a touch from the Lord. Here's someone that's needs a financial miracle, and we serve a God that can take care of that too. Here's please pray for my daughter. Doesn't say why on that, but we lift her up in Jesus' name. Someone that's having problems with pregnancy, needing a touch from the Lord. Someone else here said, traveling mercies, please remember them while they're on the road, and we lift them up also. So many needs, but again, we serve a God that's more than able to provide in any and every situation that you find yourself in. Now we're going back to some more great singing. Ila's going to do All Is Well.
when the dawn shadows fall and the night is stealing on, he will hide me in his wings so I can tell all is well, all is well, all is well, all is well. I must put my faith in him who never fails. When his glory I can feel, I'll still trust that God is real. All is well, all is well. When my life falls apart, when there's no peace for my heart, I'll still put my trust in him who never fails. All is well, all is well, all is well, all is well. I must walk by faith, not sight. All is well. When his glory I can feel, I'll still trust that God is real. All is well, all is well. When his glory I can feel, I'll still trust that God is real. All is well. When peace like a river attendeth my way. All is well, children. Is it well with you?